Hello, morning, everyone. Welcome back to my live broadcast. It's always feel great to have you back for my live seminar here. And today is 18th November 2020, Wednesday today. And topic for today, firstly, we will talk about the Powell speech, right? So the influence on stock market, is it chilling the stock market down? And then we continue to talk about Tesla and Ifast, these two superstars for current Singapore and US market, and how to deal with these two stocks. Opportunities to catch, later we talk. And then secondly, I'm now currently keeping this individual stock diagnosis section for you. But if you usually don't want it, maybe in future I will consider to remove it. So if you do want me to keep this section for you, let me know. You can contact me to let me know that you want this, you want to remain this section here. And if you have stocks to diagnose, you need to WhatsApp me your stock name or ticker and the details so that I can give you more detailed advice. And this is my WhatsApp number, 6592312309. All right. If you have stocks to diagnose for today, you better WhatsApp me now so that later I can diagnose for you immediately to save time for you, right? Okay. Firstly, let's check the Powell speech. So the latest speech, right, Tuesday, it said that economic recovery in the U.S. is slowing and remain uneven. And although the vaccine news is certainly good, even in the best case, the widespread vaccination is months in the future. So this speech, if we check the tone or the attitude, it's not that optimistic about the, let's say, the performance in near future at least. Okay, in the long run, we see the economy will always recover, right? So the general direction for the stock market will always be upward in future, but that's for medium term to long term. For short term, it seems like if we judge by the tone of Powell, it's not that optimistic for the short term performance, right? And then if we check last night the performance for the U.S. market. All right, let's check Dow Jones. Okay. See, last night Dow Jones gave us a doji, and you see this doji, interestingly, already covered the gap, right? I mentioned this gap yesterday. All right, the gap is covered. Then this is acting as some sort of support. But if really recently the correction would come, then it would drop below the the bottom of this gap first, because the gap already covered. The support here is under testing. So if price drop below for short-term trading, and if you already got a handsome profit for the recent rally here, maybe you might as well consider taking profit first. This is for short-term trading. But if you already open a position for medium-term to long-term, for banks like the for stocks like the banks, all right, maybe you don't have to leave so soon, because this is just a short-term correction that might come, a possible short-term correction, right? Now we don't know how forceful the correction can be if there is in the future, right? In near future, if there is really a correction in near future. Not sure how powerful the correction can be. So what we know is price drop below the bottom here of this gap. High probability correction is coming, right? And then if the price drop to break down the top of this previous bigger upward gap here, then confirm this is a more significant or a bigger correction, a more forceful correction for short term. And then when this gap would be covered in future, this would be a very strong support, the bottom of this previous upward gap here. And then get support here, maybe the price would turn upward again. So if you didn't buy, means what? We are waiting for the correction in future, maybe to touch the level here. The top, if the correction is not so powerful one, maybe it touched the top of this gap, then turn upward. If it's a more forceful one, maybe it would drop to cover the gap first, then turn upward. But we know the levels to look at. We know when should we consider to buy again if we miss the previous rally, right? So means you need to change your way of thinking. Now we already in the, let's say, at the beginning of the medium-term to long-term bullish market, right? And then what we need to think is, every time after the correction, that would be the time to consider buy stocks. But if it's in a bearish market, right, medium-term to long-term bearish, every time after a rally, a rebound, we need to think, let's say, leave, take profits. If the market drop, we just sidelined. But if it's already medium-term to long-term bullish, we should think the other way. Every time after a correction, when the price gets support at strong support levels, then we should think about the opportunities. Think about stocks can buy, right? Looking for chances to buy after correction in medium-term to long-term bullish market. All right, so this is the how we our general trading strategy for any market, right? So then not only Dow Jones, if we check S&P 500, also Dow G here. Dow G means the strength of the bulls and the bears at a balanced state, right? This means the balanced state, the strength of the bulls and bears. And then if the price continue dropping, right, then firstly, it will meet the previous upward gap here, which had been the support, the price get support and went up recently. And then if the price begin to drop, it firstly would drop below the bottom of this gap around 3,530, then maybe continue dropping further. Means this is a bigger correction. And this is for S&P 500, and then for Nasdaq. Okay, Nasdaq. Okay, so Nasdaq now still, you see, it's weaker. It still remain below the, yeah, it's a wrong. It's not below real. It's not really below. It's just a wrong. This is the previous high level, and also the high price of the previous Tai Chi signal, right? Previous Tai Chi, the high, and also the half of this long bearish candle here. That's why it's not so easy for the price to just break up this resistance level, even with the stimulus of the vaccine news, the recent 2 vaccine news. Very great stimulus for the market to move up, but for Dow Jones, for Nasdaq, it cannot even really break up the resistance here. Then we know how strong the resistance here is, right? Okay, so this is for US. Then if we check our STI, FSSTI, right? So here, the price already reached the top of the previous yellow Tai Chi signal, right? It's already very close. If you check the price level, that's the around 2,785 points. That's the high price for this previous Tai Chi signal. And the current price for STI now is 2,787. Okay, already reached the level, right? Already reached the level. This is supposed to be the final resistance level. if we check the chip distribution, you see, the price already break up this blue bar here. It's not a very long one, but also previously, there's some sort of resistance. That's why you see the price reach, right? A sideway here for 3 days before the gap up open to break up the resistance here, right? So now it's heading toward the previous high of the high of the previous yellow Tai Chi signal. Once the price really break up this level, the rising space for our STI is great in future. We have bigger rising space in future. You see this area, right? The chips are very short, means the selling pressure would be a very small one for our STI. So that's good, but we need to keep a close eye on the US market performance. If recently the correction for US turned out to be a more forceful one for short term, right? Maybe our STI also would cracked first because also this would be very strong resistance, the Tai Chi signal here, right? So we need to keep a close eye on it because previously you already got some profit for the Singapore market, right? Especially for the blue chips like DBS, Genting, and Sites, and UOE, right? So all these stocks have been quite bullish recently, the blue chips here. So if you already got handsome profit, and you are looking for some short-term trading, recently maybe you need to think you need to consider when to leave. Okay, you need to consider about that question, when to leave for short-term, take profit, to secure your profit for short-term. Okay, so that's for the market performance. Then let's continue to check the Tesla. Tesla, yesterday, that's gap up open because we have good news, right? So before yesterday, recently, I talked about Tesla, the triangle, you remember? I talked about the triangle, the continuation pattern here. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is a triangle for Tesla, and I said that the market already reached the price already reached the corner, means it has to make a decision to choose a direction, either to break up or break down. And last night, stimulated by the good news that Tesla is joining S&P 500 in December, that's why we have the upward gap to break up the downtrend line here, right? The downtrend line here. Now this line would be a support in near future. Of course, this gap here, right? So this gap, make it bigger for you to check, okay? So this gap here for short term, this would be the support level, but also you need to get prepared that maybe the price would drop first in near future to cover the gap. After the gap is covered, if it turn upward again and to stand above the downtrend line here again, that will be the safest to consider enter again for Tesla. Means what? If yesterday you got the news and then when the market open, you just jump into it, right? So that may not be the best strategy. Why? Because you jump into it when the market open, continue dropping, and also it's possible that the price might drop further to cover the gap first. And when the gap is covered and get support, turn upward again, show you bullish sign again, you buy, that would be a better or let's say safer for you, right? Of course, we also have the possibility, right? Here, the gap acting as the support, the price never drop below the top of this gap here, right? It just begin to go up, right? And then if you see the price never drop below the gap, maybe you can consider to buy tonight or maybe recent several days, but you need to monitor You need to monitor to find the best timing. One thing is for sure, Tesla surely have opportunity chances in near future, but it's just a matter of timing. When should we enter? All right. So and also there is another possibility. Maybe the price would just go up. Is it possible that after the price go up a bit, it might drop again? Who knows, right? But what we know is even if it drop again, and then let's say if it drop below the gap, right? The top of the gap here. If the price drop below the top of the gap here, after maybe a small rise and then drop again, right? If you have bought above the gap, right? If it price drop below the gap, maybe you stop loss first. After the correction, to cover the gap and then turn upward again, you buy again. Okay? Because stop loss is very important. For each trading, you need to set your stop loss. So this is something about your trading skills. When you really intend to buy, the timing, it's about the matter of timing. In future, I can share with you more skills, practical skills about how to find the best timing. Okay, you need to check the real-time charts. But generally speaking, we say this one has chances in future. And if you don't want to be so complicated, right? Actually, you follow the red and white circle here. Red and white circle would be a very good indicator, especially for beginners. If you don't want to make your trading so complicated, you follow the red and white circle, you are quite safe, and also you can always secure the profit and also avoid big risks, potential big risks, big losses. Okay, so red and white circle. So you follow this day. You see the high price already higher than the high of the first red circle candle. You can enter on that day, right? You enter, then your stop loss. Where is your stop loss level? Of course, the first red circle, the low price of the first red circle here can be your stop loss. And you enter, then the price drop first, but remain above your stop loss level, right? It remain above your stop loss level, you can keep holding. Keep holding and to catch the upward gap yesterday. So in future, as long as it's red circle, you keep holding, right? Okay, of course, we know this one has potentiality. That's because we have big boys. Still more than 50%. Although the consolidation has lasted for a while, still the big boys around above 50%. And you check, most importantly, retailers, just a small amount. It's not like already reached 25 or even more than 25. It never reached 25%. And most of the times, very few small green bar means retailers just very few within 5%, right? So this is a good sign. So what we are waiting for, we are waiting is the price break up the triangle to give us the final the real big rally in future. And considering the other EV stocks like NIO or Xpeng or Li Auto already have been quite high recently, right? So for these stocks, if for short term they drop, and then Tesla previously didn't drop, so this one definitely would be the one may give us the greatest chance in terms of the EV sector, all right? Also, we have the news about it's adding into S&P 500. That would be a great, right? That would be a great. Okay, so this is for Tesla, all right? You can catch the opportunity recently. Then the next stock is Ifast. Because Ifast, I mentioned it at the first red circle day, right? The first red circle day, that's 16th November. That's the first recircle. The pattern here is quite beautiful. But yesterday, right? Yesterday, a open, then continue dropping, right? When the market closed, it's around the half level of the first bullish candle here. You see the market price just closed around the half of this previous bullish candle here, the first recircle candle here. So this one, I will say, still has opportunities, has potential to go up in near future. And how do we decide the timing to buy for Ifast? Okay, if we check the current chart for Ifast, daily chart. Oh, this is not AIY. Oh, I think I need to change market. It's not Singapore market. All right, let's change to Singapore market. Close. Right? You see, until now the price is still in. It didn't go up a lot. It didn't drop so much. So it's sideways, keep sideways around the half level here. If I remove the homely rainbow, all right, I remove homely rainbow for you to see more clearly. And now it's slightly below the half level, right? So it's slightly below the half level. I would keep monitoring until the price can go back above the half level again. So one thing is, if you check deviation expert, money already begin to flow in, right? So that's good. As long as the money continue flowing in, and then we will have very high probability that price can break up the half level again, maybe just today, and then continue going up. So what you can do is, you can check the mini chart to find a best timing. Of course, if you don't check the mini chart, can we buy? Also can, based on the trading principle. The first recircle, the high price, we already know the high price is $3.47, right, for the first recircle candle. You can just Q at around that level. Let's say make it $3.69 as your buy price. You Q at that price, okay? You already know the price because you queued it. Once the price in future really rise to reach that level, your transaction would be done automatically, right? So that's one method to find the buy points. Means you don't need to be so troublesome to check the mini chart, right? You don't have to check the mini chart. It's quite troublesome. But for those who really enjoying checking the mini chart, the real-time price movement, and who want to buy at an even lower price and make your entry point and exit point better, then maybe you want to check the mini chart, right? So 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart is in white circle. Means what? No chance unless it change to a recircle again in the 30-minute chart. You see here it changed to recircle actually in the 30-minute chart, but it didn't. It failed to break up the high of the first recircle here, right? The first recircle, this candle here, doji with long upper shadow, the price didn't break up. It didn't rise. So change to white circle. If it's white circle, you can keep monitoring. In the 30-minute chart, in future, it changed to red circle again, and deviation expert tell you money flow in again. And also, when the deviation expert, the bar changed to red, it turned out to be a bigger red bar, means the money inflow is bigger, right? So that would be a better. And you see why the previous time money flow in, still the price failed to go up, because you see the money flow in just a small amount. The bars here, the red bar here, very small one, very thin, very short. Means the money inflow is quite weak. It's not that strong. But if in future the green bar changed to red again, and it turned out to be bigger red bar, means the money inflow is stronger. And then if we have the red circle in the 30-minute chart, you can try. Yes, this is if you really want to take the troubles to check the minute chart to find lower buy points. But if you don't want it to be so troublesome, just check the high price of the first red circle candle. Make it simple, right? Your buy points already know the high of the first red circle candle here. You can queue in at that price. Okay, so this is how we can deal with Ifast. Do we have stocks to check for today? Have you WhatsApped me any stock? Let me check my WhatsApp. All right. Today I got no one sending me stocks to check. Okay, so then I will call it a day for today, right? But before we finish, I just now didn't mention about this disclaimer. You need to know that all stocks mentioned in the video are for the purpose of demonstration and education. No recommendation. Investors should be aware of the risks involved in stock trading and take full responsibilities for their own tradings. And also, don't forget to support me if you like my videos, and you can share with your friends my video, and you can give me thumb ups so that I can get more attention, right? So your support will be my biggest motivation to produce you more and more splendid contents in future, all right? Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.